Okay, let's get started. All right, welcome. Hello, this is a 90-minute yoga sculpt class. We are going to start with foam rolling or also tune-up balls, and then we'll go into the workout. And you'll need 2 sets of weights, a heavy set and a light set of weights. And this is Callie. She is the adorable Frenchie that you'll probably see in my video, many videos. All right, so we're going to start with foam rolling. We're going to take this foam roller and we're going to actually go along the spine to start. What's over there? She's really wanting this. I'm on my, well, let me just re-record. Hold on. A block? Yeah. Yeah. Block would be great. Block would be great. Okay. All right. So welcome to 90 minutes of Yoga Sculpt. My name is Lisa, and this is Callie, and she loves to play with her toys. So this class is a foam rolling tune-up ball class that we incorporate in the beginning, and then we add on the Yoga Sculpt with weights. So you'll need a heavy set and a light set of weights per class for Yoga Sculpt. We're going to get started with the rolling. And since I have a half roller here, I'm going to add a block underneath my head. That's for volcano. Okay, so the block goes underneath the head. And then put your whole spine, if you can, onto the roller. And then we're just going to kind of go a little sway side to side. Just a little sway. Just to get rid of all that sort of tightness around the thoracic spine. If you have a full roller, that's awesome. Please use the whole roller. If you have more props, like more bolsters or pillows or blocks, you could put that under your hips here. So here I'm going to take my elbows wide and my head is resting on the block. And I'm just going to sort of let my elbows draw down towards the ground. So I'm getting a stretch through the chest. I'm just adding this little sway. Just breathe deeply. You could close your eyes here. Deep inhalation down the back of your ribs. Exhale, letting go. Inhale, expand down and wide your rib cage. Exhale, letting go. Good, deep, deep inhale, filling up, expanding through the back. And exhale, letting it go. All right, from here, take the arms towards the ceiling. Parallel these hands to face each other. And then feel your shoulder blades. They should be melting around the edges of the roller. And then we'll do a movement called scapular reaches. So with the left arm, reach towards the ceiling and turn the pinky finger from the shoulder blade emanating through the fingers. And then pull it down and continue on the same side. So maybe An exhale to reach, and an inhale to lower. Exhale, reach through the shoulder blade, emanate through the fingers, and then lower down. So you're isolating the scapular mobility on one side. Just a couple more. Feel movement from the shoulder blade as it wraps under the shoulder socket. All right, switch sides. Reach the right arm up, wrap through the shoulder blade to the finger, the pinky. Exhale, reach up, pressing up the shoulder blade, feeling it anchoring. So think about turning on the lower trapezius, serratus, to anchor the shoulder blade. You wrap wide. Exhale to reach. Inhale to lower. Exhale. A couple more. All right. Now keeping the arms parallel. Notice where your shoulder blades are. See if you can reach them down your back, down and wide. And then you're going to start reaching the arms back by your ears. Keep the front ribs down. Avoid flaring the ribs. And feel the shoulder blades pulling down and wide. And then bring the arms to center. Inhale here. Exhale, reach back. Inhale to hold. Exhale, bring it in. Inhale here. Exhale, reach back. Inhale, long spine. Exhale, center. Good, so we'll move a little more. So exhale to go, inhale to go back. Keep the ribs down. Exhale, feel co-contraction. Bring the arms in. Inhale to reach back. Keep the low ribs down. Exhale to center. Two more. Inhale. Exhale. One more. Inhale. And exhale. Good. Now you're going to take your arms down on the ground if you can, elbows towards the ground even more, stretching through the chest. Just one breath here as we keep the chest open. See if you can press your hands towards the floor, which is an external rotation. All right. Now we'll take the roller to a different part. We're going to take the roller to go the short direction of our spine. So start from the shoulder blades. And you're going to just roll up the shoulder blades, up and down to the upper traps. So lower traps, middle, and upper traps. Make sure keep your hair out of the way. You can also take a moment to relax if you like, especially if you find a nice sweet spot. And then take the roller to the bottom of the shoulder blades, your hips on the ground, hands at the base of your head, and bring the elbows in slightly. Take an inhale, lengthen through your back, through the back of the neck. You can look forward. Exhale, start to curl into an upper ab curl and create this C curve from your low ribs pulling down, the front of your neck engaged. You've got a gap between your chin and chest. Inhale, reach the head back, let your body arch. Exhale, curve in. Inhale, arch. Exhale, curl. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Think a lot about what's happening in your pelvic floor. Every time you curl, think about pulling in from the sit bones, the pelvic floor. And just feel that beautiful mobility happening in the upper spine. Just a couple more. Waking up the core. And the next one, hold your curl. I like to think of a wave crashing from the pubic bone, and it's reaching up the front of my spine through my ribs, chest, and neck. And the front of the neck is getting like a slight engagement there. So you're getting this big crunch. All right, good work. Take an inhale, let it go back, and hang out there for a moment. Just let your chest relax. You cannot, and since I've got my block, it's not as big of an arch, but if you want more, then of course you can take it away. One more breath here. All right, we're gonna move on to the lower body. We're taking this first to the side of the hip, the gluteus medius. And then from this, I'm just gonna go a little side to side. So we're right on below, you know, where the hip bone is. It's right along the side of that, where you're feeling a little more give. And then you can also rock a little bit forward. Rocking, it feels really nice to loosen up tension. All right, we're gonna take it to the glute. So come onto the middle of the glute. You could be sitting on the roller. And I've got my legs sort of at an angle here. It's like a diagonal, externally rotated. And then I've got the roller right on the middle of the glute here. All right. Go into the other side. First to the glute. Right into the middle, right where the piriformis is. Just moving up and down. This is her favorite toy. This is yak's milk. Yummy, yummy. She likes to have a little assistant. A little help. All right, and then we're going to take it to the side of the hip. Here, you got to take it now. You're going to go right onto the side. Feeling again where that hip bone is, and you want to get into the side where there's a little more give. Kind of going up and down, side to side. This is typically an area that feels pretty sore. I roll it out, so I know it's a good place to be. All right. Whew. That's the lower back body. Let's take it to the front of the low body, onto the hip flexors. So first you could just hang out and just rest your hips on top, just to really relax into it. The psoas goes from, the iliopsoas goes from the low back, so your lumbar spine, and it connects from the front of the spine, goes through the edges of the pelvic bowl, right? Your pelvis is like a big bowl. So the back curves is where the iliopsoas runs through, kind of runs in that curve of the bowl. And then it goes down the front of the pelvis and to the inner thighs. So you really will get a lot of tightness around the low back if the psoas, the iliopsoas, is tight. So that's important, why we need to roll it out. When I say the word tight, I mean that the muscle itself is restricted. The length is restricted. And there's only a few ways you can lengthen that restriction, which is to release it, release the tightness by doing these kinds of things like foam rolling or massage. And then creating more strength and ability for elongation and shortening of both. You want a healthy muscle to elongate and shorten. All right, so now I'm going to go down to my quads. Going into the bigger, meatier quads here. This is where we tend to overuse. We overuse generally from just our habitual ways of walking. And we underuse the back of the legs, the hamstrings. So what happens when we underutilize certain muscles is that they can be stuck in their shape. So sometimes they're stuck in a short position or a long position. And that's just something to note. Okay, I'm going to go a little bit further down. Oh yeah, it's getting good. Oh yeah. These are always guaranteed to be a sensitive area. I have a client who walks all the time. She walks like probably 4 to 5 miles at least every day. She doesn't work, that's probably why. She's retired. But she, doesn't really foam roll. And so every time I get together with her and we do the foam rolling, she's just like in excruciating pain, like she calls it the torture device. But that's just because she walks and she uses her quads. So, the more you use your muscle, the more it needs to be massaged, right? It's always nice to get a massage. So that's just important to know. Like if you're a really physically active person, that you should really think about doing this daily. Maybe just a 10, 15-minute session. Play some music, Feel free to play my playlist. I love music, right? It really puts you in a good mood. You can always do this while you're watching TV also. Why not? Why not? All right. Now we can move on to the tune-up balls. No, these aren't for you. You got your yak's milk. Okay. We're going to put this at the base of the head. Shirley wants a hand here. So I put a little bit of a gap between them so I could get a little more space. Yes. Yummy, yummy, yummy. And then I've got a block on top, underneath the balls as well. And then what's really nice here is that I can just really relax. I love that I can just relax my head and just get that pressure, that nice medium pressure. You could do this without the block too. And then if you wanted more pressure, you can lift your hips to get more of that weight. Let me just see if nope, I think that's too much for me. I'm gonna keep my head right here. Just take a nap. Take a nice deep inhale. Feel the lungs expand to hug your heart. And just exhale through the mouth like a sigh of relief. If you're feeling any anxiousness, please take your hands onto your heart and solar plexus to keep the energy in. So much of what we do, we're giving our energy away all the time. And we need to create more boundaries. We need to create more of this sacredness within ourselves, within our skin. Being present means being in your body, embodying the feeling of receptivity, of just knowing and noticing how you're feeling and being conscious of your mind, noticing what thoughts arise and seeing if you can let them go, if you can let them move on without needing to attach. Oh, what's over there? It might be one of my angels. It's okay. She's looking at my sweater. All right. So just letting it all go, right? Letting go of what you don't need to focus on and just be in your body. That's all I'm inviting you to do for this embodiment class, this embody yoga sculpt. All right. We're gonna do one more spot. So take these out of the little bags here. And then I'm gonna have each ball at my upper traps, because this is just one of the most chronic places to hold tension. So I really think we need to give it a little massage. So take the tune-up balls, kind of right at the at the base of the neck, and find the meaty part of the upper traps. And then just lay on top. So make sure you've got your body on top of the balls, because sometimes they roll up and they're not really underneath you. Okay. And there's a bone there too. Do not put the tune-up balls where the bone is. Keep it on the muscle. Okay. This is typically where I have knots every time I get massage. It's like the most sensitive place for me. So this is super helpful. And if you want a little more pressure, you could put a block or the foam roller under your hips, your sacrum. And hey, why not try and straighten those legs out to get a psoas released. This is the last part of our rollout. Again, I can't say enough about how good it is and important it is and beneficial it is for pain management, for better strength training and functional fitness, to roll out, to release the restricted areas, the tight areas, in your body. Oh yeah, I got some good knots here. Wiggles are good. Always a good thing to wiggle it out. Ooh. Look at it. All right, one inhale here, expand down and wide. Exhale, H-A-A. One more, inhale. Exhale. All right, we're ready for yoga sculpt? Yeah, we're ready to work out. Yes, that's a mouthful. All right. I'm going to go ahead and move these back into the bag before Callie takes them. I know you want to bite these, but these aren't for biting. These are for rolling. All right, I'm going to move my mat here a little bit and we'll get started. Okay, great. That was 20 minutes of rolling. Perfect. So the playlist here is Embody YS Yoga Sculpt. We'll go ahead and start the first song together called Faith's Hymn. In 3, 2, 1, play. And just a side note, if you don't have a subscription to Spotify, I think it will play commercials and it may not play it in order, right? Okay. So that's just a thing about Spotify. But it is really nice to follow the playlist because it pumps us up. It's good to have music for that reason. All right. So we are going to come into seated. And you can absolutely sit on a block too. You can give your hips a little room. So from this position, we're just finding our center. If you're comfortable, close your eyes and start to notice the position of your spine in space. Let your whole spine elongate through the crown of your head, reaching up to the heavens, and your sit bones reaching down into earth. Feeling that you are the conduit between heaven and earth, between the spirit realm and the physical realm. Feel your shoulder blades relaxing on your back. Today's class is going to be a very shoulder-focused class. Our shoulders are super important. They are used for pretty much everything that we do. And especially in yoga, right? In a vinyasa class, we are putting weight into our shoulders all the time. So I really want to teach you today about how to best use your shoulders in a safe and functional way so that you can have strong and healthy shoulders for your whole life. All right. So noticing again that you've got your sit bones below you, I want you to focus on your inhalation, expand your ribs. Exhale, feel your pelvic floor lift from your sit bones. Inhale, expand the ribs down and wide. Exhale, lift from your pelvic floor, squeezing between your sit bones. Inhale, expand the ribs out wide. Exhale, lift from the abdominal wall like an ocean wave crashing up your pubic bone, up the front of your spine. One more time. Inhale, expand the ribs down and wide. Exhale, lift up the abdominal wall like a wave. Beautiful. Taking your hands to your heart, setting intention for today's practice. Intention of embodying, of being receptive, of grounding and centering. Feeling where you are in this moment on your mat, knowing you are safe. There's nowhere else you need to be. There's nothing you need to figure out. You can let the mind relax. Instead, now go into the heart. Go into the body. It's a vessel. Notice what is happening with your emotions. If you do notice there's any nervousness or anxiousness or fear, please breathe deeper, slower, creating this boundary, this safe container for yourself for this practice. Now, as you inhale, you can blink your eyes open. Just orient where you are in this space. Look at the colors around you, the texture of what's around you. Just being present, being here in the now. We're not in the past. We're not in the future. Those don't exist. We are only in the now. All right. From here, feeling the ground underneath you, your sit bones rooting down, right? Feeling the weight of your sit bones getting nice and heavy. We'll start by moving the spine. So as you inhale, arching, creating an opening through the chest like we did with the foam roller. Exhale to round through the spine, broaden the shoulder blades. Inhale, open, arch. Exhale, round. Inhale, open through the chest. Shoulder blades down the back. Exhale, broaden the back body, broaden the shoulder blades. Inhale, expand. Exhale, round. One more, inhale. Exhale. And then we'll do barrel rolls. So moving and rotating the rib cage around like a spiral. It's a little tricky on the block. I almost feel like I might fall. Just move with it, go with it. We're trying to loosen up any tightness here in the torso, in the shoulders, the upper spine. Inhale to arch, exhale to round. And then we'll switch direction, moving the other way. That's it. We're just creating space around the ribs. One more time. All right, find your center here, nice and tall from the sit bones through your crown. Taking one hand, the right hand down, and then the left arm comes up. Take an inhale, grow tall. Exhale, translate your ribs to the left. So moving into a side bend. Stay here. We're gonna take the arm back. So it's a little bit of a tiny back bend, and we're stretching through the chest. Good, and then take it forward, kind of rounding here. Inhale, open the chest, reach back. Exhale, round slightly forward. Inhale, open. Exhale, round. One more time, inhale. Exhale. Good, take the arms up and take the other hand down. Inhale, long spine. Exhale, translate the ribs to the right. Feel the work from the ribs. Good, and then we'll take the arm back as you inhale, little arch. Exhale, round. Inhale to arch. Exhale to round. It's so important to feel that flexion, extension. Move through the spine and use your core. One more time, inhale. And exhale. All right, wonderful. One more thing here is our twist. So just start with the hands. Take the hands either to the shoulders, or you could just take them to across to the other shoulders. So inhale, grow tall. Exhale, twist towards the left. And we're not using our hands, so it's a active twist. You're using your muscles. You're using the power of your own strength. Inhale, grow taller. From the sit bones pressing down, the crown of the head reaching up. Exhale, twist deeper. One more inhale, press the sit bones down, the crown up. Exhale, twist. Beautiful, come into center. Take an inhale to grow tall. Find those sit bones, get heavy. Exhale, twist to the right. Inhale, sit bones down, crown up. Exhale, twist, wringing like a towel. One more time, inhale, long spine, extend. Exhale, twist. Really good, very detoxing, right? Okay, let's come on to tabletop position. Have your block nearby. It's so wet. It's really wet. I think that's her favorite one. Okay, so from tabletop position here, we're gonna take the left hand behind the head, and then we're just gonna create that little arch like we did seated. And then exhale, bring that shoulder towards the opposite hip. Inhale to arch. Exhale, round. Inhale, arch, open up the diagonal. Exhale, close the diagonal. One more, inhale. And exhale. Switch direction. Other hand, right hand on top. Take an inhale and arch. Exhale, bring it towards the opposite hip. Inhale, arch. Exhale, round. Inhale, arch. Exhale, round. Feel the diagonal. Inhale, arch. Exhale, round. One more time, inhale. And exhale. Awesome, take the hands down. So this next part is a scapular push-up. So some people call it straightest push-ups, but I want you to think about your scapula. So your arms start from your scapula, okay? Your arms start from your back. Just think about that. So we're gonna keep our hands, arms straight, parallel. And from this, we're gonna move from just the shoulder blades moving, okay? So we let the sternum drop, and the shoulder blades retract, and they squeeze towards each other. And then lift your sternum up between your shoulder blades and broaden your shoulder blades apart. And this is protraction. You'll feel the shoulder blades pull down your back, but down and wide, and anchor. All right, so inhale to sink the sternum. Exhale, lift the sternum. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, sink the sternum, squeeze the shoulder blades. Exhale, lift the sternum, press the shoulder blades. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Two more. Inhale, exhale. Arms stay straight, elbows don't change. Good. So there's a lot of good work happening in there. Lots of good deep muscles. All right, hold tabletop position. We're going to start with the left hand facing in, reaching forward, and then the right leg going back. So the right leg is extended back, the left arm is extended forward. Take an inhale to grow tall through the back of your spine. Exhale, lift the arm and leg. Good. Find your core lifting from that abdominal wall, reaching up away from the pubic bone, creating a nice long line of energy. All right, from this position, you're going to start to reach the elbow back and bend it to 90 degrees, and then reach it forward to starting position. So bend the elbow and then reach. We're going to add the leg going down to toe tap the floor and then squeezing up. Down and up. Now notice your core, right? We always want to keep the core engaged to protect the low back. Especially when we start to lift the leg up is when we tend to focus more on the leg than on the core. So really isolate the awareness, the embodiment of your core. Be in your body. Be in your focus, your concentration of how you're holding yourself, your spine in midair. One more. And we're going to take it down. Tabletop. Tabletop. Ooh, it's so wet. Oh my gosh. Okay. So now we'll take the right arm forward, left leg back. And the hand is facing in. All right, take an inhale, nice long spine. To the back of your spine, grow long. It's so wet. I don't want to touch it. Go see mama. It must be her favorite toy of the day. All right, so we'll take an exhale, lifting up the arm and leg. Inhale, grow long. Exhale, bring the elbow back in line with the shoulder. Inhale, reach it forward. Feel the shoulder blade pressing through the shoulder socket. Exhale. Inhale. Add the leg tap and reach. Tap and reach. So really imagine what's happening in the back of your spine, that you're creating that nice long line. Like if you had a full roller on your back, you want that nice straight line there. Good. She just wants her mouth on it, and then she. All right, last two. What you doing over there? One more. Hold. Take an inhale, long spine. Use your core, abdominal wall lifting. Exhale, bring it down. All right, keep your hips where they are. We're just going to walk the hands forward. Forward. Going to reach the hands forward. And puppy pose. Yeah, can you do puppy pose with us? Puppy pose. So your forehead can be on the mat, or if you have the room, you can even get your chin to see how much space you have in your upper back. Oh, no. Is that the squeaker? Oh, I think that's her. I think I was like touching something. I don't know how many times I have to throw this. She's like, oh, new person. All right, one more breath here in puppy pose. Let's all hope that we can be as playful as a puppy and enjoy life, right? All right, come on up. Take yourself into tabletop. We'll do one more thing here. Little rotation, little, twist. Thread the needle. Inhale, reach the left arm up. First, before you go, just start to focus on your spine. This is a twist, an open twist. Take an inhale and an exhale. See if you can twist a little more open. One more inhale. And then exhale, thread the needle. Reach the hand through. Bring your ear to the floor. So here, you can keep your arm where it is. The right hand reaching forward. Press into the front hand. One more inhale here. Rotate from the rib cage, looking under the arm. All right, and then slowly slide that front hand in. Take the inhale, reach up towards the ceiling. See how much room you have. And then reach the hand back. Hold it there. Take your right leg off the ground. Now, if you can, see if you can bring the foot to your hand. I've got my thumb up, so I'm getting that external rotation. And then you can, if you're holding your foot, you can even kick with the foot, creating even more of a little back bend, tiger pose. Keep the core engaged. Lift from the abdominal wall. And exhale to release. All right, other side. Inhale the right arm up. Stay here first. Feel the breath. Feel what's happening in the shoulder socket to the upper spine. One more inhale. Exhale, thread the needle. Bring the ear to the floor. Now that front hand is going to reach forward and press into the earth. Inhale, lengthens you more. Exhale, active twist, looking under your arm. Feel what's happening in your spine. Add a little more work in the twist. And inhale, slide the hand in. Exhale, reach the arm up. Feel more work in the spine. Remember, your arms start in your back. And then take the left leg off the ground, reaching back. Option to bring the hand and foot together. And then kicking, activating, more work. One more breath here. And then gently release. All right. We're going to start with working into a plank. Tuck the toes, lengthen the legs. You can stay here. You can always bring those knees down. We're going to do those scapular push-ups again. Retract, protract. Relax the shoulder blades and then press the shoulder blades. So you should feel the shoulder blades reach down and wide when you protract. Down and wide. Down and wide. I'm not even bending the elbows. Last two. Last one. Take it all the way to the belly. All the way down. Ah, yay, we're off the hands. From this position, take your hands behind your head. And then we're just going to be lifting. Keep the ribs down. Lift from the chest. Back of the head is in line with the back of the neck. And then lower. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. And lift. Now I'm anchoring my pubic bone, pressing the tops of my feet into the floor. And I'm really thinking about my core, the abdominal wall. Good. Keep the elbows in line with your head. Remember that your shoulder blades should anchor nice and snug. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Go ahead and relax. Take the forehead down. Slow inhale. Slow exhale. We'll do one more move. So inhale, lift up the head, neck, everything in one line. And then reach your elbow towards your hip, same side. Inhale, center. Exhale, other way. Keep your chest, your head in the same plane. You're just going into a side bend. Using your obliques, you're anchoring pubic bone down. And you've got your abdominal wall to help you, to keep you nice and contained in your vessel, in your body. Legs don't move. Last one on each side. Beautiful work. Go ahead. Take a moment to rest here. We got one more pose in prone, and then we will move into our flow. Sphinx pose when you're ready. Bring the elbows under the shoulders. And then shoulder blades anchor down. This is where you really have to work more to anchor those shoulder blades. So reach the shoulder blades down and wide as you broaden and smile through the collarbones. And then I'm thinking about my abdominal wall peeling away from the floor. And that makes the pubic bone press forward more. That's how we protect the low back. One inhale here. Go a little longer. Exhale, reach the elbows, shoulder blades down. Inhale, tuck your toes, and then find forearm plank. Arms parallel, keeping the collarbones wide. Just bend one knee, bend the other knee. Bend, bend. Keep your body in one long line. You're always welcome to lower the knees down. I'm thinking about my shoulder blades sliding down and wide. Now in this position, you want to activate the shoulder sockets. You want to rotate the shoulder heads towards external rotation while your forearms are pressing down into pronation. So there's two dynamic ways that we're activating for 4, 3, 2, 1. Come onto the hands. And then take a down dog. Pedal your legs out. One heel touching at a time. One more breath. Good. You can keep a nice bend in the knees here as you lengthen through the spine. Slow inhale. Slow exhale. This is an embodiment practice, so we move with intention. We move with being present. All right, so we get those sit bones to reach back while the crown is reaching forward, lengthening through the spine. Now I want to talk about your shoulders here. Externally rotating from the shoulder heads, seeing if you can create more opening through the chest. And then you're pressing actively down with your thumbs and index fingers. So it has to have that dual action. We need that dual action to be happening. Oh, you know what? Let's come down real quick so I can talk a little more in depth about the external rotation. So your shoulders, when they're rolled in, that's internal rotation. And when they're rolled back, that's external rotation. So sometimes we can use our hands to gauge that. But what I'm asking you to do is not to use the hands to do the external rotation in the shoulders. I want you to be able to feel that in the shoulder socket. And that takes time. That takes a lot of just repetitive training. And so you're rotating the shoulders into this spiral back. I think of it as spiraling back and the heart opening. And then when you're in the down dog, right, let's say you take your hands with you and your arms are by your ears in down dog. So I'm in external rotation with my shoulder heads, but I want to be rotating the wrist down. So as you're in your down dog, the thumbs are going inward and the shoulders are going outward. So it really is an opposition. This is going that way, this is going that way. So there's a little complication, a little more detail in there, but with time and practice and repetition, it becomes almost instantaneous. And you'll create lots of wonderful space around your neck. Okay, push the floor away, lengthen through the spine, reach the sit bones back. One more inhale here. See if you can feel those shoulder heads rotating into external rotation. All right, now look forward. Exhale, bend the knees. We're going to float onto a slight handstand float and then land forward. Okay, so just kind of play with the floating. All right, inhale, halfway lift. You want a long spine here, parallel to the floor. Bend your knees a lot. And then exhale, forward fold. Take a hold of your weights. So make sure that you've got your weights at the top of your mat. I'm going to go for my heavy weights to start. You're welcome to start with light weights. And I'm going to come into a little bit of a chair position, Utkatasana. I've got my feet about sits bones distance apart, like the distance of my fist. And then start with the arms, but parallel. And we're going to stay in chair. So arms go down and up, down and up, down and up, down and up. Woo! She got a new toy. Oh, you brought me the newspaper. Wonderful. Thank you. She's always bringing it back so fast. I don't know where else to go. Where else to put it? That way. So we're doing rows, narrow rows, working the back. Weight in your heels. You can try to lift the toes a little here. Oh, hello again, Callie. Boop. And you want those elbows to stay close to your body as you row. Yeah, row. Row. Inhale down, exhale up. All right, for 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold here. We're going to go back and bend. Kick back and bend. Kick back. Kick back. That's it. Keep the elbows along your sides. Weight in the heels. Kick back. Kick back. Kick back. Exhale. Exhale. 4 more. 4, 3, 2. We're going to hold back on 1 and pulse for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Come all the way up. Good work. Nice warm up, right, with the weights. Okay, we're going to bring the feet still parallel, and we're going to just do bicep curl, hammer curl. Lift the heels down and up. It's a great way to strengthen the ankles and toes. Avoid swinging the hands down. We want to really control. Boop. Feel how high your ankles, your heels can go. And notice your spine. Nice and long, nice and tall. Always really being present means letting go of expectations and just going with the flow, going with life, up and down. We don't need to be controlling everything. That's not nature. We are nature. We're human. We're part of nature. And there's no such thing as perfect, right? That's a human condition. So when we think about letting go, it means just going with what is natural. How your body is feeling. When you feel challenged, it's important to breathe. That's how we get through. That's how we progress. Just breathe. For 4. And of course, take breaks as much as you need to, but we're really here to challenge ourselves. 1 more time. Hold the heels up. All right, take the hands in front of the elbows and then rotate back and then center, back, back. Good, you're feeling the shoulders working now. Rotator cuffs, back. Heels are still lifted. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Take the heels down. Keep your left foot forward. Take your right foot back. Find warrior 2. Oh, I should face this way. Your left foot forward, your right foot back, warrior 2 legs. So push more into the back leg, straighten through the inner thigh, and then reach the front knee above the heel of the front foot. All right. From here, we're going to take the opposite hand, so my back hand, I should say, towards the opposite hip. And then we're taking it up like a diagonal. opposite hip, and then it's at that goal post position, parallel to the floor. So this is a movement that we actually do quite often. When we reach for something, we pull it across our midline. Most often, we reach for things. We round our back sometimes. So really focusing on how you hold your posture, even during the day when you're picking things up. Good, lift and lower. Think about going back with the arm. Remember that your arm starts at your back. Her little snorts are so cute. For 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right. We're going to add on a nice work through the shoulder press, and then actually take the arm in, facing in. Press, turn it in. Press, turn. Just like we did with those reaches. Think of your shoulder blade going down and wide, turning on the serratus. For 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good work. We're going to take, oops. All right. So now we're going to take the legs in, heels in, find goddess pose. And then hands behind the legs. So we're going to do a little oblique crunch to the side and the other side. Crunch, crunch. See if you can keep low, stay low, challenging the legs. Side to side. Good. Keep the spine nice and long. Think about translating from the ribs. 4, 3, 2, 1. Now stay here. I'm going to have you hinge forward. And then take your hands in front. So you can do this with light weights. Probably going to feel better with light weights. Your arms are rounding like you're hugging a tree. And then arms go back. Exhale. Exhale. The weights are always your choice, okay? Do what feels best. Exhale. Exhale. Squeeze the shoulder blades. Start the movement from the shoulder blades. For 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good work. All right. Go ahead and turn towards the front. Left foot forward. And I want to see if we can get that front heel up, the front toes up completely onto the heel. So we're working some muscles on top of the foot. Hinge forward. So we're getting a little bit of a stretch too. My back leg is turned out. I'm getting the hips to square off, left hip pulling back. And then from this, I'm going to let the hands kind of hang here. Shoulder blades pulling down and wide. And then I'm going to lift my torso and then lower. Hinge from the hips and lift. That's it. So we're working into the back. You can always double up on the weights if you need to, if you want more weight. Keep rooting down the back leg. Heel down if you can. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Awesome work. You can go ahead and put those weights down. And then take an optional vinyasa. Keep the collarbones nice and broad. Pull the shoulder blades down and wide in your back bend. And then curl the toes, back down dog. All right, looking forward here. Bending the knees. And then float, slight handstand, float to come forward. Inhale, halfway lift, long spine. Exhale, fold. Take your set of weights, coming into a chair. Bring your feet sits bones distance apart. All right, we'll do rows again. Arms parallel. Lift, lower. Weight in the heels, lift the toes a bit. Spread the feet, spread the soles of the feet out. And something to think about is to make your hands more like hooks rather than gripping. So we're not really using the hands, you know? They're just sort of there to hold the weight, but the work comes from the back of the arms and of course the shoulders. Back of the shoulders working, huh? I'm really thinking about driving with my elbows too. What is that now? Where did the lava go? The lava's over there. Oh, she's like, why is it broken? You must have loved it so much you ate it all up. Oh. All right, nice and strong with the core. Remember, your abdominal wall starts at the pubic bone. Shoulder blades down and wide at the back. You got this. 4, 3, 2. We're gonna hold on 1. Oh, Callie, we're gonna kick back and bend. Kick back and bend. Kick back. She wants a new toy, Mom. That's what she's saying. She's like, why don't you get me a new toy? All my toys are chewed through. I know, Callie. I know you love that one, don't ya? Boop. The last time I was in this position, she did the same. She's like, here, if I put it at your feet, you'll move it. It's a good challenge. Be on 1 foot. Boop. Weight in the heels. Oh, I'm feeling my lats already. This is a good way to work with gravity. Working those lats. Exhale. All right, we're gonna hold it in 4. In 3, 2. Hold on 1. Pulse 4. Pulse 3. Pulse 2. Pulse 1. Awesome. Woo, come on up. Hey, hey. You know what's next. Bicep curls. We're going to lift the heels up and down. Now for this version, I want to have us with our hands facing out. And then bicep curl. Bicep curl. So when we've got our hands out like this, it's a great way to encourage that external rotation. She just really loves us. She wants our attention all the time. She knows she's also on camera. I think she just wants to be the star. I would use you as a weight if I could pick you up. Shoulder press. with a Frenchie. Good. So broaden through the collarbones. Think about those shoulders spiraling back. That's so important. 8 more. 8, 7. Strong core. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. We're going to hold it on 1. 1. Heels up. Now take the hands, take them wide, and pulse back. Back, moving from your back, your shoulder blades. You really want to isolate this movement. Be mindful, notice, tune in. Where are you feeling it in your upper back? Shaking is good. Strong ankles. Last 8. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Take it down. All right. Keep your right foot forward now. We'll be doing the other side. And then left foot goes back, warrior 2. Bring the hips forward and down. And activate strongly through the back inner thigh and the front hip rotator, right? The lateral rotators are working in the front leg to bring the knee to point the same direction as your toes. All right, back arm is going to be doing the work here. Hand to the opposite hip, and then take it parallel to the floor. Down and up. Down and up. Down. Press. Activate more through the legs. Strong and steady. Inhale down. Exhale up. When our shoulders are nice and strong, they are less susceptible to being injured. One of the most common injuries that I see is shoulder impingement or frozen shoulder. Good, rotate up. That's it, you're doing so good. Last 4. Remember that you can switch to lighter weights at any time. 2. Hold on 1, ready? Press, turn the hand in. Goal post, face in. Face in. Can you go a little stronger in those warrior legs? Think of the shoulder blade wrapping under the shoulder socket, anchoring. 4, 3, 2, 1. Awesome work. Take the heels in. Goddess pose. All right, I'm going to have my heavy weights on my hips for this. I like the challenge of the weight. I'm going to go up and down. You can always choose not to use weights. Shoulder blades down the back. Smile through the collarbones. How's the core? Are you feeling that line lifting? Holding you into your center. Feel the ground underneath your feet. Feel the strength of your feet gripping the floor, gripping the earth, connecting to Gaia. Make sure to orient where you are as well. Just know that you're here in this room, in this place, right? You're not anywhere else. You really want to be in this moment. looking around at what's around you, right? Like a little Frenchie. All right. We're going to hold down in 4, in 3, in 2, hold down on 1. Stay there. Now try to lift both heels. Yeah, like you're wearing high heels. And then from here, we're going to take the arms into the parallel goalpost. Rotate up, parallel. Good. I'm just holding my heels off the ground for challenge. Shoulder blades down the back. Down and wide as we rotate. External rotation. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Heels down. All right, last one. Hinge forward. Take the hands behind you. So what you're looking for is to work more into the back. Press the hands. Back, back, back. Sink down through the sit bones. Long spine. Squeeze your shoulder blades a bit. This is meant to really be challenging because of the position. Press, press. Palms face forward. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good work. Turn towards the front. Your right foot is forward. Your back heel is down. Lift the toes and come on to the heel. You've got your weights. You can double it up and make them heavier. Hinge from the hips. Lengthen the sit bones back. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift. You're working that left glute too when you come up. If you do weight training, you probably are used to doing this with 2 legs, known as the deadlift. The hands are not being used at all. They're just there. Last 4. Last 3. Last 2. And 1. Awesome work. Go ahead and put those weights down. Optional vinyasa. Take your time with this. Broaden through the collarbones. And then back bend with the shoulder blades down and back. Down and wide. Down and wide. Exhale. Down dog. All right, last exercise for the shoulders. This is called down dog push-ups, also like shoulder presses. Your elbows are going to bend out to the side and then press. Bend out to the sides of your mat, press. Bend, press. Inhale, exhale, press. Inhale, exhale, press. Keep your sit bones reaching up. Work from the shoulders. You got this. Find that external rotation in the shoulder sockets. For 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. If you need, you can come down, take a rest, taking the weight off your wrist if you need to. And then circle the wrists out if you need that. I like this a lot. I'm going to do it. Circle it out. Hi. Especially because we're going to do one more round of that. And I'm going to offer, if you want to try more, since it's our last shoulder exercise, that we'll do that in a handstand on the wall push-up. All right, which I did, I think, last week, yeah. Okay. So yeah, this is just like if you're really wanting stronger shoulders, you've been doing a lot of shoulder work, or you are working on handstand in your practice, then the one with the handstand on the wall is going to be great for you. Otherwise, just continue and do the down dog version. Okay, here we go. Handstand time on the wall for push-ups. And then from this, I'm going to bend and press. Bend and press. Bend and press. Keep the core engaged. Yep, for 4, for 3, for 2, and 1. Nice and easy. Make your way to child's pose. You can take the hands back by the feet. Just letting it all go. Surrendering into the depths of your breath. Emptying out the vessel, emptying the mind. Now you can set yourself up into a nice little seat here. And if you prefer to sit on a block, you can do that as well. Bringing your feet together, your knees wide into butterfly, Baddha Konasana. Feel the sit bones reaching down. The shoulder blades broadening down and wide under the shoulder sockets like wings. Connecting energetically from your sit bones reaching down and your crown reaching up. Lengthen the sacrum down and then the back of your cranium up. And so they reach apart from each other. There's a slight nod of your nose. And then bring awareness to the front of your spine, feeling where that is in space. See if you can notice the natural curve. Find a little more of a neutral spine by weighting down into the sit bones. Depending on your body, it may feel like you're working a lot. So just notice, if you have a mirror, you could use a mirror to check that you have a nice straight sacrum, vertical sacrum. As you inhale, feel the lungs expand. As you exhale, empty. Try really emptying out every last drop. One more inhale here. Exhale. And then option 2, straighten out through the legs. So we're keeping the legs wide. And find those sit bones. Bending the knees really helps to find the sit bones. So that you can sit right on top of the sit bones and you can feel your whole spine sort of levitating above the sitting bones, the ischial tuberosities. Tuning into the breath. Slowing the pace. Moving from a shallow breath to a deep breath. Exhaling through a slight opening of your mouth. Inhale through your nose. Exhale, slight opening of the lips. The gentle sigh. Inhale, expand. Exhale. Feel the strength of your body holding you together. Feel gratitude for your health, for a healthy, strong body. And I want you to remember and to repeat this affirmation. I am abundant. So inhale that affirmation down into your sit bones. And exhale, feel the pelvic floor lifting. Inhale, I am abundant. Exhale, lift from the pelvic floor. And again, inhale, I am abundant. Exhale, empty. You have everything you need right here. Everything begins from the mind. When we are receptive, when we are tuned in, when we are listening rather than speaking. That is yoga. That is the practice of connecting to your higher self, the Atman. And the breath is the channel. The breath is the way that we harness this ability to connect to our higher selves. Inhale one more time. Biggest inhale of the day. Expand, expand, expand. Exhale, let it go. All right. Gently make your way into a comfortable seat. Sitting nice and tall. Notice how different you feel now compared to how you started. Any parts of the body that feel a little more open or more lengthened. Maybe it feels easier to sit up straight. Take your hands into the heart in prayer. Acknowledging that we can be in the heart. We can embody this heart chakra and feel from the heart and allow it to open. That we will be really, truly in abundance. We have everything we need when we have love. Take your thumbs to your third eye, this seed of intuition, allowing that intuition to guide you on a daily basis, connecting us to the spirit world. And then take your hands to the head, the crown, pointing up to the heavens, letting your crown chakra stay open to receive messages from the divine. Thank you so much, and namaste.